Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan from Fireside Yankees, and in today's video, we're going to discuss a rumor from Andy Martino that he put out earlier about an hour ago. Andy Martino of SNY, one of the guys who are the most plugged in when it comes to the Yankee organization, extremely plugged in on the Juan Soto thing from this offseason. A couple of off seasons ago when the Yankees were rumored to be in the shortstop race, he was very adamant about the Yankees not being a big suitor for a Corey Seager or Carlos Correa, and that ended up being true. And, with some other stuff that's come out since then, we have Jason Dominguez returning from the IL. We'll discuss that as well. But with that being said, before we get into anything, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. We've got you guys with constant updates about your New York Yankees, and you do not want to miss out on what we've got cooking for you guys over the trade deadline. Without further ado, let's get it started talking about the third base rumor. Andy Martino of SNY reported the Yankees are actively shopping for third base help. That is no surprise. The Yankees have really struggled at third base this season. DJ LeMahieu has not been it for the Yankees. He has been atrocious. Oswaldo Cabrera profiles much more as a bench contributor. John Birdie has not seen much of the field this year, not necessarily because of poor production, but because he keeps getting hurt. And so it's a perfect storm brewing for the Yankees to go out and get an upgrade at the hot corner. Now, who would be some names that profile as an upgrade? Isaac Paredes of the Tampa Bay Rays has been a hot name the entire month of July. There are plenty of teams who would love to add his bat to their lineup. Now, Paredes is 25 years old. He's in the middle of another excellent season. He was the Rays All-Star representative. He has a 131 WRC plus and 16 home runs through 98 games. He has hit a little bit of a skid, but overall, the body of work on the season has been excellent. I know there are some concerns about his batted ball profile, but since he pulls so many batted balls in the air, it's pretty sustainable for all things considered. Don't look at the expected numbers. They don't really take into account your spray angle, which is the direction in which you hit a baseball. And that's important when it comes to how far it'll travel and how well it will do. As it pertains to other options on the market, Matt Chapman is somebody who I've talked about ad nauseum. If you guys haven't seen my trade deadline video from earlier today, you guys should check it out. I talk about Chapman as the guy I would go after at third base. Not because I think he's better than Isaac Paredes, but rather because I think his price tag is a little more affordable for the Yankees in terms of parting away with prospects. Chapman this season has a 113 WRC plus, a 2.8 FWAR. He's been a strong defender at the third base position. That's his calling card. He's always been a great defender. Plus 8 defensive runs saved, plus 1 outs above average. He is a plus base runner with plus 2.5 base running runs, according to Fangraphs. And overall, he's just an all-around solid player. Although I will admit, this is not the kind of player you want to be your sole addition. He is only a 113 WRC plus hitter, which is better than DJ LeMahieu by a significant margin, but the Yankees need just a little bit more at the deadline if they're going to settle for Chapman at third base, which wouldn't be a bad idea at all. As for the other name that gets brought up, Luis Rengifo is a popular name, but I don't really see it with Rengifo. I know he has a 121 WRC plus that is higher than Matt Chapman, but it's starting to plummet. He has a 297 expected weight on base average, and unlike Isaac Paredes, there isn't anything in his spray angle and the way he shoots the baseball or pulls the ball that would suggest that he's not due for some regression. His strikeout rate's low. That's great. His average is high. That's great, but he doesn't hit for any power. Doesn't know how to work walks. Doesn't play good defense. This just doesn't profile as the kind of guy that I want. And I originally held out hope that he would start hitting for power, but that hasn't happened. The power hasn't come back after last year. He barreled 7.6% of batted balls and it's 16 home runs, 126 games. They do need anything they can get, and I think Rengifo is better than LeMahieu, but I don't necessarily think he's going to produce much in New York, and the Yankees would risk trading some serious prospect capital to end up with a player who may not be that good. So not necessarily a big fan of Rengifo from that standpoint. But, third base, it's a position where the Yankees need help. And if they're going to trade for Isaac Paredes, it'll cost them a guy like Spencer Jones for sure. If they're going to trade for a Chapman and Rengifo, I don't think it'll cost them much for either of those two players, especially Chapman, who has a player opt-out at the end of the year that he can use. I do anticipate that he'll opt out of his $18 million second year for 2025. But I also want to point out that, when we're talking about a player being able to control their free agent destiny, a team could have a situation where they acquire Chapman, he falls off the face of the earth over the final 2 months, and he ends up opting in. So the Yankees have to be careful with any trade for Chapman. He could leave them if he's good, and he could stay if he's bad. So the only real scenario where he'll stay on that contract is if he's bad. So you really do risk having an $18 million dud on your payroll for the 2025 season. But with that being said, let's talk about Jason Dominguez as well. This happened while, I was putting together this video, so I had to re-record it. But Jason Dominguez has been activated off of the AAA IL. Now, why is it important to specify the AAA IL? Well, Jason Dominguez is not coming up because of that transaction. This transaction activates him from the IL, but keeps him in AAA with the Scranton Rail Riders. That is a very important note. I don't want anybody to think that Jason Dominguez is back on the 26-man roster. And it makes sense that he'll get some time to build up in AAA. He's coming back from an oblique injury. He has a very violent swing. We'll see how much time it takes for him to play 9-inning games and play the outfield and all that stuff. But I see him as somebody who can help this team as soon as he's ready to go. As soon as the Yankees think he's fully game ready, he's fully built up, everything's good. The KPIs, the key performance indicators, everything there is strong. I love Jason Dominguez. I love his profile. He's an excellent swing decision maker. That doesn't mean that he doesn't swing at anything. It means that he doesn't chase and he hits the ball when it's in the zone. So he's swinging at the right pitch to swing at, and he's swinging at them aggressively. And then the pitch he shouldn't be swinging at, he rarely offers that. So that's really encouraging. From a power standpoint, he destroys the baseball. He has unbelievable raw power, and he makes a ton of contact. So that's really encouraging as well. Dominguez is a great athlete. We know he can run the base as well. He is just the kind of player the Yankees need right now in their offense. And considering what Alex Verdugo has, or for lack of better terms, has not given them at the plate lately, this is a seamless upgrade, right? Like, this is an easy transition. A player who's a rental, a player who's on an expiring contract, a player who, quite frankly, will not be here next year, or Jason Dominguez in the middle of a pennant run. I think it's pretty obvious. With the way that Dominguez is trending, with the way that Stanton is trending, you could potentially see them in the lineup soon. That would be awesome because if you were able to land a third base, unless you land an Isaac Paredes, look at this lineup, you subtract 3 of their worst hitters, which is third base, which is left field, which is DH, because JD Davis is absolutely terrible. So you subtract JD Davis, Alex Verdugo, and DJ LeMahieu and replace it with Giancarlo Stanton, Isaac Paredes, and Jason Dominguez. That's awesome. That's a massive facelift. That changes the way teams are going to pitch to Aaron Judge. That changes the way teams are going to be able to limit the Yankees and run scoring opportunities. The Yankees have a 592 OPS from the cleanup position right now. They are desperate there. They desperately need help. That's the worst mark in Major League Baseball. They have a 70 WRC plus. Again, the worst mark in Major League Baseball from the 4-hole. Getting any support and getting any help that they can there is going to be massively important for their ability to go out and compete for a World Series. We'll see if they're able to pull off any trades in the next few days. The trade deadline is July 30th at 4 p.m. So it is closing in. It is not too far away. We'll see how the Yankees handle things. We'll see what Brian Cashman has cooking up. But if you guys want more updates like this, you want to stay up to date on what's going on with the Yankees, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Make sure to check out our other social media platforms on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and this YouTube page. And of course, you guys can follow me at Ryan Garcia ESM. I'm Ryan from Fireside Yankees saying thank you guys so much for watching, and let's go Yankees. Peace out, everybody.
Perfect.